Okay, hi, my name is Ifeoluwa Goriola, and I'm popularly known as Aisha Ifeoluwa. That's my brand name. I'm a portrait and product photographer, a business owner, and a hobbyist illustrator. This wasn't what I wanted to do as a little girl. I wanted to be a civil engineer. I dabbled into it a little bit, and it wasn't for me at some point, so I stopped. In my career as a business owner, I don't think I've faced any barriers, particularly due to my gender, because my business is mostly, there's no face behind the brand. This is the first time I'm going on camera for anything, so nobody knows it's owned by a woman. So I haven't particularly faced any restrictions based on my gender. I'd be lying if I said I have, or maybe I have and I just didn't take note of it. But in my photography career, there are a few instances where people have treated me a certain kind of way during shoots, or spoken to me a certain type of way during shoots or negotiation, and I just know that that's because I'm a woman. They wouldn't have tried that with a male photographer. So that's basically it. Toot your own horn and speak about your work as much as possible. Be loud about your work. You have to be confident in yourself and your abilities. Yes, you're going to be afraid a lot of times, but you have to do it afraid. That's something I learned from a talk I listened to one time. Yes, you're afraid. Okay, for instance, I'm a photographer, and sometimes I'm usually anxious to post my work. And what the person told me was, yes, you're anxious to post it, but just do it being anxious. You're anxious, post it. Maybe you log out of your account, close it, whatever you're going to do to cope with it, but still just make sure you're putting yourself out there and making sure people can see you. Be visible, try to be visible as much as possible. The word, I don't think, for me, the word isn't particularly inspire. There are a few people whose work I like, but it's not a thing where, I don't know, I'm not one to particularly get inspired by people. I hope that doesn't make me sound cocky or anything. I'm not being cocky, that's just how I am. I don't really pay attention to other people. But yeah, there are a few people whose work I admire. I see them this is amazing. But it's not a thing where, I look up to them and I'm okay, I want to be like that person. So I can't particularly name names. Greatest accomplishment yet is successfully transitioning from a traditional career to a creative one. Like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to be a civil engineer when I was younger, and I actually did go to school for it. I went to school for it. I really liked it, but at some point I just didn't want to do it anymore. And yeah, so transitioning from having a clear career path to a creative and a business owner is one of my greatest accomplishments yet, because I feel like I've been very successful at it. I feel like a lot of people are more aware about I feel like a lot of people are more aware about gender disparity, a lot of things that women go through that are not right. A lot of rules that are in place, a lot of laws that are in place. More people are aware now. I feel there's progress, but I don't think it's so much. But I guess every little progress should be celebrated. And also, I think there are a lot of more people. I know, compared to when I just started doing photography, I know a lot more people now. A lot of women that are photographers. And for business, for businesses, I don't think the progress in being a businesswoman or having women in business is not particularly in the numbers, because I feel like women have always been businesswomen. You have market women, people will just not, if you think about a businesswoman or somebody that owns a company or owns a business of her own, you won't just think about that market woman, or women that you just don't think that what they do is as important. But I feel like we've always had the numbers. The issue is maybe scaling. So we don't have that situation where a lot of women are scaling their numbers properly as business women. And I don't know if that is also still getting better, because there's still a lot of barriers to getting capital for women. And there are a lot of barriers, other barriers maybe balancing the home, being a mom, or being a mom and like having a business, for instance, it's not easy, and the society doesn't make it easy. Also, we don't have situations where, you know, the women get the kind of support they need to be able to scale properly. So I really don't know if I can say that there's been progress in that sense, but in the sense of people being more aware of the things that are going on, the troubles that women have, the kind of laws that are wrong, I feel there's a bit of progress there. It could be better, but there's a bit of progress there. Overall badass. I should have introduced myself. I usually introduce myself as that. I forgot. But yeah, that's the word. That's the phrase. It's a phrase. I don't know. I particularly haven't. Okay, you know what? I can answer that question. So, as a young photographer, when I started being a photographer, I felt like I had a problem with the fact that I didn't know so many female photographers apart from the popular names, you know, very, very popular names. I didn't know everybody that was like maybe like my peers, that kind of thing. And I started a community with a couple of women, and we still have that community till now. It's a community of female photographers, Nigerian female photographers, and I feel like that's a way that I've made like a tiny change. Is helping more women get visibility. So you can go on the page and you see a lot of women photographers, and you'll be wowed because, you know, these people just don't know that women are doing these amazing things. So I think that's a way I like to make change, you know, increase the visibility of Nigerian women in photography. Another way, I can't think of any other way at the moment. That's like one thing that's at the forefront for me right now, even though I've not been doing it as much as I'd like. But yeah, that's one thing.